Good evening, lovely, lovely people. Hello, how are you? I hope you're well. Lovely to have you. Thank you very much for joining me this Sunday. I hope that you've had a good week so far, and hopefully you've managed to get a little bit of, rest, calm, whatever it is that you want to call it this weekend. Hopefully you've managed to put your hair up, put your feet up, let your hair down, and rest. Very good, very good. Lovely to see you all. Right, so tonight there are actually two things that I want to do. This first one is something that I'm going to keep repeating during the night. As you may be aware, I am currently running a Black Friday event, okay, on my page for the comprehensive intermediate speaking course. And a lot of you have joined. Thank you very much. Those who've joined this event, do make sure you check your emails, because in your email, you've got the welcome email. You've also got the link to our exclusive Telegram group. Okay. Make sure you join that Telegram group, because this Monday, which is tomorrow night, we have our monthly online live meeting. You don't want to miss it. Okay, so if you have joined the comprehensive intermediate speaking course, welcome. Make sure you shuffle through your emails, make sure you check your email and you get that link for Telegram and you join the Telegram group. Okay, you don't want to miss tomorrow's meeting. That's the first thing. The second thing is, for whatever reason, there might be somebody here in this group who might not want to invest, that much money in a course, in a comprehensive speaking course. That's absolutely fine. I have another different website as well. On that other website, I've got other courses which are more specific, and the prices are a lot more reasonable. Obviously the courses are shorter, but the prices are a lot more reasonable. If you comment the word great right here in the live, you'll get a link in your DM and that will take you to the website. Okay, so the word is great, great, G-R-E-A-T, right? The courses that I'm talking about in my other website, they are just in English. There's no Farsi involved. So they are mainly for people who are intermediate or above. They're quite comfortable with their level of English. They want to improve a specific skill, possibly, in their English. I've got podcasts there, podcast 1, podcast 2. Number 1 was very, very successful. I've got modal verbs and conversation. I've got language and culture in the UK, which is very, very valuable. It teaches you what we say in different situations, and more importantly, why. It also gives you do's and don'ts of what to do based on the culture. So the word is great. That's what you need to comment, and the link will come to you in a DM. There are some things in any country, in any culture, right? There are some things, excuse me, even in Iran, there are some things that exist in every culture. I call them silent expectations. That's what I call them. Silent expectations. I mean something that everybody expects you to do, but nobody says it. Okay? Everybody expects you to do this, but if you don't do it, nobody actually says anything to you, or some people might object, but it's not written anywhere. Okay, let me give you an example of a silent expectation in the UK. For instance, a silent expectation in the UK is that if, for example, if you see somebody is going through a very, very difficult moment, okay, somebody's just heard really bad news or something, really, really bad is happening. The silent expectation in the UK and in a lot of English speaking countries is that we don't keep going over to that person and saying, what happened? Oh my goodness, what happened? Tell me what happened? We don't do that. It's a sign of disrespect to keep going over to that person and keep saying, talk to me, tell me what happened. It's very disrespectful to do that in English speaking countries. What we do is obviously we say, is everything okay? Do you want to talk about it? And usually they want to be left alone. Okay, so they don't like it when people keep hovering. Are you okay? Tell me, talk to me. Oh my goodness, I can see you're so upset. Tell me what's wrong. This is extremely rude and disrespectful in English speaking countries. The respectful thing is obviously we say, is everything okay? But then we give them their privacy. We give them that time for them to be able to go through the emotions and get it over and done with. Okay, so this, for example, is a silent expectation. When you come to live, yeah, right, Shamim, wow. When you come to live in an English-speaking country, nobody teaches you this. Nobody tells you this. And then when you see your neighbor, your colleague, somebody pouring their heart out, crying their eyes out, you come from such a warm, different country, a lovely, very friendly country, you go and you try to help that person, but it's not right. It's not part of the culture. And you're trying to do something nice, right? But then people around get a bit frustrated. Oh, just leave her alone, you know? So these are what I call silent expectations. Silent expectations. Another one is, for example, students have told me about this, and I think I've talked about it before as well. And the other one is, for instance, if you're in a public place and you've got your own food, the expectation is not for you to offer you food around to other people, okay? That food is yours. You have no obligation to offer your food to other people. That's your food. And that's a silent expectation. And if you offer your food to other people, they might take the lot and you're left without lunch, right? Now, correct me if I'm wrong. The silent expectation, for example, in Iran, let's say I'm sitting in a group of people, right? And I've got my sandwich. I'm just about to start eating my sandwich. Correct me if I'm wrong. The silent expectation is that first I should offer this sandwich to other people around me, right? I should say, would anybody like to have a bit of my sandwich? And usually people around me say, no, thank you, go ahead, thank you. Am I right? Yes, I haven't created a cultural point there, have I? That's right, is that right? I'm just going to take the charger out of my phone. It's true, right? So that is a cultural expectation. It's a silent expectation. Yes, lovely. Thank you for confirming. If in Iran or the countries around there, you know, the culture in those countries is wonderful. If in Iran, in a group, in the middle of a group, in someone's house, in a party, whatever, the only person eating is me, and if I don't offer this to other people, what's everyone going to think? Oh my goodness, that's a bit rude. Yeah, she could have at least offered it to us. She wants the food just for herself. How rude is that? Hasn't anybody taught her manners? Now, nobody thinks that poor Layla maybe comes from a different country. She doesn't know. So these are silent expectations, an expectation that people from a country have when people from other countries come. We expect this, and when we see it doesn't happen, oh, that's a bit rude, right? And the opposite happens with English as well. So the course I just mentioned, it's totally true, good. The course I just mentioned, Language and Culture in the UK, talks a lot about these silent expectations. I've talked about this for a whole lesson in one of my podcasts as well. So if you want to, yeah, your name is Layla. If you want to just take a look at these courses, just, you know, have a bit of a look and see what they're about, what they offer, and obviously the prices, just comment the word great right here in the live, and you will get the link to that website straight to your DM. Okay, just to let you know, my Black Friday sale for these short courses, my sale ends tomorrow night. A silent expectation in Germany is that if you're shopping in a supermarket, for example, you'd be careful not to be in the way of other people and be mindful of that. Absolutely. That's just good manners, isn't it? I've seen people from other countries, when they come here, exactly what you're saying, Artifa, when they come here, for example, they've got their trolley or whatever, they leave their trolley right in the middle of the aisle, and people are trying to get past. And usually English people are so reserved, we don't like to touch somebody else's trolley, because that's not my trolley. So I don't really have permission to touch your trolley. I just have to sit here and wait. Hopefully the owner of the trolley will come and move it. And that's where you start getting this kind of reaction from people. Exactly. It's just one of those things, you know. Yeah, because English people don't accept anything free. I don't know what that means, but okay. Yes, so these are the courses. What else do I have? English for Work, that's another course that is also in the offer. So do take a look if you want to. Just take a look at the website, and I hope you find something there that is good. The prices are very reasonable. The courses are a bit shorter, but obviously the same quality of work. Yeah, okay, lovely. Let's get to tonight's lesson. Now, the topic for tonight's lesson that I put as a story was confidence boosters. Confidence boosters. Things that allow you and give you a bit more confidence, right? So confidence boosters, to me, do not include excellent grammar. No. To me, confidence boosters do not include fantastic, excellent accent. No. These aren't important to a native English speaker. These aren't important. The important things are, for example, something that really gets the attention of a native English speaker is if we see somebody from another country is using, for example, idioms, is using maybe slang, is using something that only native English speakers use. When you use that, excuse me, you definitely get our attention, and we're so excited. Oh my goodness, well done. Where did you learn that? Yes, absolutely. In fact, there's a very good lady, lovely lady. She's excellent. The speed at which she's been learning English is excellent. Everything I teach her, her brain is like a sponge. She just grabs it, works on it, practices. She's amazing. I had taught something in one of my reels on my page some time ago. I'd taught if you want to sit down on maybe a bench or somewhere and there's somebody already sitting down, you need to ask permission. You can't just go sit down. Yeah, you need to ask permission to sit next to that person on a bench, on a long, row of chairs, whatever. And I had taught that we say, can I park myself there? You know how you park your car, right? So the phrase is, can I park myself there? So there's a bench, you are sitting on one side, the other side of the bench is empty. Nobody's sitting there. Instead of me just going and sitting down, that's very, very rude. Yeah, I know the bench isn't yours. You're just taking one side of the bench. The other side of the bench is empty. I still need to ask your permission because you were there first. You were there first, okay? Can I park myself here? Can I park myself there? So that's what I taught in one of my reels, okay? Now this lady that I'm talking about, she's absolutely amazing. She had got on a bus, okay? And obviously there are two seats, right, on a bus on either side of the aisle. And there was a lady who was sitting on the seat that is closest to the aisle. So there was a lady sitting here, there was a seat empty, and then you've got the window. And this lady I'm talking about, let's call her B, okay? B said to this native English speaker, this passenger, excuse me, can I park myself on that seat? Now, this lady told me herself, she said, Layla, the expression, the reaction of this English person on the bus was absolutely amazing. She said the lady actually smiled. You know, when you hear something, let's say, for example, there's a Chinese person who's gone to Iran, right? A tourist who's gone to Iran. You can tell from their face they're not native Farsi speakers. They're Chinese, maybe Japanese or anything. And they say, for example, in Farsi, they say to you, Baba khayli khafane. How do you feel? You're like, what? Where did that come from? Oh my goodness, that's something that only native Farsi speakers speak. I wasn't expecting you to say that. That's the kind of feeling that you get, right? When you see somebody from a different country using your kind of very informal slang, kind of like street language. This is how native English speakers feel when they see people learning this kind of language. We get so excited. Well done, good for you, learning that kind of thing, right? A silent expectation is to give your seat to someone with physical disability. Andrea, absolutely. I think people all over the world do that, don't they? If you see someone with a disability, it's just common sense, isn't it? You just get up and give your seat. Or someone who's pregnant, maybe, someone who's carrying a baby, you know. Is this seat taken? Yeah, that's correct, absolutely. But you know what I'm trying to say? Thank you, Ali. What I'm trying to say is that the topic of the lesson is confidence booster, okay? It's the way you speak when you see that kind of reaction from a native English speaker that tells you, I've done it right. I've said it like they say it, and that just gives you so much confidence, right? Okay, thank you, Ali. Is it common in other countries? Because I never heard of it in Canada. When you mean it, for this person, RTGHZGH, when you say it, what do you mean by it? Giving your seat, giving up your seat to someone else? Is it common in other countries? I would think it's common everywhere. I mean, in Iran, people are very kind, obviously, in Iran. If you're on the subway or if you're on a bus and you see somebody with a walking stick, maybe elderly gentleman, lady, or somebody with a walking stick getting on the bus, I'm sure a lot of people would stand up and give their space to that person, yeah? So I don't think that's just for some countries. I think that's everywhere, right? Thank you. Park myself. Oh, to park yourself. Is it common? This is the way we say it, okay? In America, in Canada, they might not say it like that, but if you say that, they know what you mean. They know what you mean. Let me give you an example. You know, a lot of people here in this live, hi, a lot of people here in this live, I think a lot of you are from Iran, right? So you have your own kind of Farsi, you have your own kind of language. Let's say somebody from your neighboring country, from Afghanistan, they also speak a kind of Farsi, don't they? They don't speak the same kind of Farsi that you do, but when they speak, you still understand. Or when you speak, they still understand. That's how the English in the UK, Canada, and America is, okay? We might not say the same things Americans say, but when an American talks, we understand everything. It's the same with the others as well. Excuse me. Do you teach English online? Yes, I do. One of the ways that I teach English online is through this comprehensive intermediate course. And also, when you comment the word great and you get the link, one of the courses that I teach online every week is English for Work. That's one of the courses as well. Students study the lesson themselves during the week, and then every Saturday, We get together online. I just review the lesson and then I put students in groups online. I go into their different rooms and check and they practice and that kind of thing. Okay. You arrive at the doctor's and you see other people waiting there. You'd say hello to everyone. In Iran, we do not say hi to strangers in this situation. Okay. That's nice. Yeah, we don't always say hello to everybody. We don't usually do that. Yeah, great. Yes, so for example, this lovely person is from Afghanistan. I'm sure that when Farsi speakers from Iran speak, I think you might understand a lot of the Farsi, is that right? Or when you speak, they understand you. It's basically the same thing. Yeah? Okay. Very good. Lovely. So I'm going to go to the lesson. Let's say, so I got a text from a student. I got a message from a student. And this student said, Layla, you've talked a lot in the past in these online and these live sessions. You've talked a lot about conflict and argument. You've talked about when kids go to school, what we can say to the teachers. You've talked about, how we can talk at work with people at work. This student said, can you please, for one session, talk about if we want to have a conversation with our neighbor? Something's happened and our neighbor wants to tell us what happened. What can I say in that kind of situation? So let's say something's happened. Your neighbor wants to tell you what happened because you were asleep, you were away, you don't know what happened. They want to tell you what happened and you want to speak in a native English way in that conversation, okay? So let's say, for example, you've just come out of the house and your neighbor says, hi, did you hear what happened yesterday? Yeah. So your neighbor says, did you hear what happened yesterday? Obviously, you don't know what happened yesterday. So this is where you can say, no, I'm completely out of the picture. I'm completely out of the picture. That's an idiom. No, I'm completely out of the picture. Want to fill me in? Want to fill me in? That means, do you want to tell me? I'm dying to know now. I'm curious what happened, right? So something happened, you don't know what it was, your neighbor comes and tells you, do you know what happened? And you're like, no, I'm completely out of the picture, which means, no, I have no idea, I don't know. Tell me, which we say, can you or want to fill me in? Want to fill me in? You want to tell me because I'm dying to know, right? And then the neighbor obviously starts explaining something happened. For example, the police were called, the ambulance service or the fire brigade was called, and it was a big thing. And then you can say in the middle of it, wow, the plot thickens. This is something a lot of you, I don't think you've heard this. We say it a lot. The plot, P-L-O-T, that means ماجرا, dastan, the story, yeah? The plot, the word thick, we use it as the verb here. The plot thickens. The spelling Thickens. Again, sorry. Thickens. Thickens. The plot thickens. Yeah. I think a lot of you speak Farsi, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm going to try and translate this in Farsi. So your neighbors come and said, do you know what happened? And you say, no, aslan khabar nadaram. Chi ruham khabar nadar. Something like this, right? And you want to say, bim bigu chi shod, right? Want to fill me in? Bim bigu, want to fill me in? And then they tell you, they explain what happened. And you want to say, ooh, baba che majarai bude, right? The plot thickens. That's how we say it. Oh, the plot thickens. Wow. It's a very complicated story. Yeah. So that's how we say it. When the plot thickens, speak casually. Very good. Barati simin. Yes. Very good. Lovely. That's what we say. So when someone's explaining what happened and it's really detailed, that's one comment we can say. Oh, wow, the plot thickens. It's very detailed. It's not just a 1 or 2 minute thing. It went on for a long time. God goodness, right? The plot thickens. چه ماجرایی بوده? Yeah, very good, very good. Thank you very much. Okay, wow. And then sometimes when you're speaking, not just with your neighbor, anywhere, with anybody, sometimes when you're speaking, you say something. This happens to everybody, right? You say something, but then after you've said it, you realize, no, maybe I shouldn't have said it that way, yeah? Or maybe I could have used a more polite tone. Or maybe it was okay in my head, but when I said it, it sounded a bit rude. For example, let's say you've got a guest who's coming to your house. Yeah, the guest has come to your house, and your guest, for example, flies back to their own country tomorrow. Okay, so the guest has come to stay the night with you before they fly back to their country tomorrow, and you want to ask خب پس کی به سلامتی کی مثلا برمیگردین خونتون, something like this, which is a lovely question, but you say, okay, so when are you leaving? When are you leaving? Now that's okay, but some people might think, میخوای بیرونم کنی? When are you leaving? It can have two meanings. One is, right, so به سلامتی کی میخواین تشریف ببرین؟ مثلا پرواز کنین برسین خونه سلامت باشین, that kind of thing. That's one meaning. Another one, خب کی میخواین از اینجا پاشین برین؟ بسته دیگه. So there are two different meanings, right? When are you leaving? So sometimes we say something and then we think, that didn't sound right. That's when we say, sorry, that came out wrong. That's when we say it. Sorry, that came out wrong. That came out wrong. And then I can correct myself. It's lovely. This happens especially to people who want to learn another language. You say something and then a few seconds later you think, did I make a mistake? I'm not sure. Right, or maybe you think, oh, I shouldn't have said that. We say, oh, sorry, that came out wrong. Sorry, that came out wrong. I mean, when are you going back to your country? I'm sure you've really missed your family. It's been lovely having you here. And that's when we correct ourselves, right? So exactly, right? الهه کی زحمت رو کم میکنید or کی رفع زحمت میکنید, right? I don't know if that is rude, if it's okay in Farsi, I'm not sure exactly. But yeah, sorry. از زبونم پرید. Is it the same as زبونم پرید? I don't know. I guess you could use that. Yeah, sorry, it came out wrong. Sorry. Let me correct myself. Sorry, let me correct myself. And then we say it in a different way. That's fine. It happens to everybody. In my head, it sounded okay. But when I said it, it didn't come out right. Sorry, that came out wrong. Let me correct myself. And that's absolutely fine. Yeah? منظورم این نبود. Yeah, these kind of things. Lovely. یه جوری جمعش میکنیم. Exactly. Lovely. Yes. Exactly, Mahi. Exactly. It sounded better in my head, right? Yes, lovely. So these, for example, if you can, these are very simple. Yeah, just 3 little lessons. I don't want to bombard you in the live sessions with lots and lots of things because firstly, it's only a half-hour session that we have on Sundays. Secondly, if I give you a lot of information, it's just going to be too much, right? You might go into overload. Oh, that's too much. But if I just give you 2 or 3 phrasal verbs or idioms or phrases that we use in English, hopefully that's easier for you to practice throughout the week, and then you can just work on it a little bit more. Yeah? Okay, lovely, very good. So before we go, we've just got another minute. Yes, if anybody isn't interested in my comprehensive intermediate speaking course, which I've been advertising a lot these few days. You want maybe a course that's a bit shorter. You want a course that's a bit more specific. You just want to work on your listening. You just want to listen to podcasts and learn what to say. You just want to work on modal verbs. Could, would, should, will, might, may. These are modal verbs. You just want to work on that. Maybe you just want English for work. Maybe you just want to learn English and the culture and see what we say and why. These are specific courses that, again, these courses are on offer as well, 50% off on my website. If you comment the word great, then this will come as a DM to your, it'll come as a link to your DM. You can check it out. The sale for these short courses ends tomorrow night. Satar WB, can I park myself? So there's no on. Can I park myself here? So there's no preposition. Can I park myself here? Can you please send the upper intermediate course link? Yes, so if you just comment the word great, you'll get the website for that. Yeah. Slipped off the tongue. Okay. Yeah, just the word great. Should we use on before here? No, we don't use on. We say, can I park myself here? Can I park myself here? We only use on if you're talking about, I don't know how you say it in Farsi, sorry. Do you know merry-go-round? You usually see it in a park, maybe a merry-go-round. It's usually got a horse, which is plastic. It's got a horse and children get on it. It's got a pole and then there's music and then it just goes around. The horse doesn't move. It's on a plate. It's on a very big plate. It goes around with music. The horse might go up and down a little bit. It's like a ride. Chargofalak, is that what they say? I thought Chargofalak is a wheel, like the London Eye. Yeah, maybe I'm wrong. Anyway, so let's say, for example, you want to ask, is this horse on this ride? Is it available? That's when we say, can I park myself on here? میتونم سوارش بشم. That's when we use on. Yeah, but for example, a bench or a seat, دیگه سوار bench نمیشیم, right? That's just a seat, so we just sit down. Yeah, lovely. Okay, very good. Thank you so much for being with me in this session. Really enjoyed having you, as always. These sessions are very short, but I look forward to seeing you again. If you want that link, do comment the word great. I'll see you soon. Take care. Good night.